All right, guys, today I'm going to show you how to bleed your brakes on some of these pit bike or moped style brakes. You've probably seen these on eBay or Amazon and stuff like that. They can be a little tricky to bleed, and I'm going to show you what tricks we use to make it happen. So the supplies you're going to need are obviously your DOT4 brake fluid. Don't use mineral oil or anything like that. A JIS screwdriver. You don't want to use a normal Phillips head. Be very careful. You're going to need a rag, like a dirty rag of some kind, and some kind of socket. Our brakes use an 8mm, and I'm going to use that to bleed it. This process is a little messy. There's definitely cleaner ways to do it, but this has been the most reliable. So to make it a little bit cleaner, what I like to do is I take this rag and I put it around this brake caliper, because this is the bleeder right here. And as you open it, the brake fluid's going to come down. So the brake fluid's really, really kind of caustic and can chew away your paint. So you want to do whatever you can to avoid getting it on the paint. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to open up this bleeder. This one has had no fluid in it, right? So that is completely open now. All right, we're going to go back up to the lever. To get started, you're going to want to remove the cover off your lever. This is where the JIS screwdriver comes into play. Shout out to Moto. I already have this one pretty much loosened all the way off. And I'm just going to fill it up because we're going to do this a couple times. So I have an open caliper down there. I have brake fluid in here. And I'm just going to begin pumping. And if you look in here, you're going to start to see air bubbles popping through. But what I'm going to do is actually put the cover on top of this. I'm going to tighten it down. I'm not going to go too crazy with it because we're going to have to open this up again. But by putting that cover on top, you're essentially going to build up some pressure in there as you pump. And that's going to force it out much quicker. So I'm going to keep on going here. And then I'm going to watch here to see if I'm getting any brake fluid. And this will take a little bit because there's no fluid in this system. While you're doing this initial bleed, you can actually watch the window on a lot of these levers and start to see, if your level gets too low, you can open this back up and refill it. But this one holds a lot of fluid. All right, so I was just doing that for maybe 2 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. And now I have fluid starting to reach the caliper. So I'm going to close that. And I'm going to come back up here and check. And now if we look at that window, you're going to see that my fluid level is pretty low. So I'm going to open this back up. Wear gloves, by the way. You do not want brake fluid on your hands, guys. Yeah, you can see. So this just sucked up a whole bunch of brake fluid. So I'm going to top it back up. Make sure you don't go all the way to the top, because when you put the seal on there, it's going to overflow. If you don't put this on and tighten it up decently, this system is not going to work. You're just going to be doing this all day. So now I'm going to come back down here and I'm going to pump it a little bit. And now I'm starting to feel when I squeeze this brake that I can't reach the handlebar. And so now we're going to begin kind of a wasteful process, but it works really well. And this is the step. What you do is you squeeze the lever, keep it squeezed, open the bleeder, close, release. That's the key step. You have to follow those steps. So again, squeeze, open, close, release. And so what you're doing is you're pressurizing fluid down to the brake. While it's pressurized, you're bleeding it off. You're closing it, which creates a vacuum. And then you release the lever, which pulls even more fluid in. And now these brakes are pretty close. I can maybe have about 1/2 inch right there. And just as an extra step, if your brake lever doesn't hold that much fluid, we can open this back up and just top it off for the future. So that way, as your brake pads are wearing down, you're going to use fluid up, because those pistons are going to have to press farther towards that disc, right? You don't have to go crazy tightening this. Remember, there is a seal, a rubber seal underneath it. And so if you tighten it too hard, you can damage that seal. So just kind of go nice and snug and you're good to go. So again, let's check this. Oh yeah, perfect. These feel good. So now I can clean all this up, get all the brake fluid off your frame as soon as possible, guys. So that's it. So if you have a moped, an electric bike like we make here over at Spark, a pit bike, anything, even a motorcycle, this process is pretty much the same. So again, those steps are add fluid to your brake lever, go to your brake caliper itself and open up the bleeder, use the lever to pump the brake fluid to that caliper until you start to see the fluid exit the bleeder. At that moment, close the bleeder. Add more fluid to the lever, and then begin the process of squeeze, open, close, release. And do that until you have pressure built up in the lever. Then you just add more fluid to the brake lever, and you're good to go. Sounds complicated, but I guarantee after you do this one time, it'll really start to make sense. Anyway, guys, I hope that was not too complicated. It sounds complicated, but good luck.